best things in the world. They lift us up, challenge us, support us, and make us feel like we're superhuman. Nothing can get us down when we're in a good relationship, especially ones that are just beginning. But if you're in the beginning stages of getting to know someone, how can you tell if it really is healthy? Often we get so wrapped up in ourselves that we don't see when relationships are unhealthy. It might seem like a far away, it'll never happen to us thing, but unhealthy relationships are more common than you would think, and sometimes sneak up on you. If you suspect you might be in an unhealthy relationship, listen on and see if any of these match up to you and your beau. 1. You fight a lot. No, we don't mean arguing over who has to clean up after you've both cooked dinner. We're talking about yelling, threatening, and screaming at each other. If you two are getting into screaming matches over every little disagreement, you need to rethink why you two are together in the first place. 2. You hide things. And we don't mean candy or Easter eggs. We mean things like texting other people, lying about where you were, or other dishonest actions. If your partner will get mad at you for texting your best friend forever, or going out with friends instead of staying home with them, you might just be in an unhealthy relationship. 3. This way or the highway. If your relationship always revolves around how the other person wants to do things, or how you want to do things, you're not in a good relationship. Partnerships involve being partners. This means you need to compromise, listen, and discuss before actions are taken. If it's always one person's way, you two need to sit down and sort it out before resentment and anger starts to breed. 4. You feel guilty. This one's a little harder to pin down. Your partner might not even be aware that you're feeling this way. Heck, you might not even be aware that you're feeling this way. If you get worried about taking time for yourself, or if you feel that you're not allowed to, address it with your partner. It might be a miscommunication, or it might be a clue that your relationship isn't as healthy as you think. 5. It's one-sided. So much of relationships is about sharing your burdens. When you're in a relationship, you get someone to lean on, talk about problems with, and help to deal with your struggles, and vice versa. You need to make sure you're available to be a support system for your partner, letting them lean on you when they need to. The relationship is based on one person or the other. It's not a real relationship. It's just taking advantage of someone. 6. They put you down. We don't mean physically. We mean that they put down your hopes and don't support you in your dreams. You need someone just as brilliant as you are. Someone who will help you achieve your goals, or at least cheer you along the way while you strive for them yourself. Any partner that says your goals are stupid is not a partner you want to have. Get out. Quick. 7. They refuse to do things that matter to you. If you've said 3 times that you hate when the dishes sit in the sink for days on end and your partner still doesn't change their slovenly ways, you need to get out. They clearly don't respect you as much as you respect them. If they did, they would listen to your concerns and make an effort to do the things that matter the most to you. 8. You're codependent. This one's a little trickier to identify. If you and your partner can't live without talking to each other every minute of every day, you need to reevaluate your priorities. Your relationship should be a happy addition to your life. 9. They make you feel insecure. Your significant other should make you feel like you're the greatest thing in the world. Why? Because you are. You're an intelligent, hardworking individual who respects yourself. And if your partner isn't respecting you, you need to leave them. They aren't healthy for you, and you deserve better. If you feel insecure in any way, get yourself out. You're in an unhealthy relationship, and you'll be much happier without them. 10. They're abusive. It seems obvious, but sometimes people in relationships can't see what's actually going on. They justify their partner's actions or take the blame on themselves. Don't. If your partner is verbally, physically, or sexually abusive, you need to get help and get out. If you aren't sure how, or if you need help, talk to a counselor or doctor or someone else you trust. They'll be able to get you the resources you need to take care of yourself. 11. You change yourself to be what they want. This is a subtle sign of an unhealthy relationship. It should be a big red flag. If your partner says, "I like blondes," and you go out and dye your hair, it means your partner doesn't actually want to be with you. They want to be with their ideas. Find someone who loves you for you, and then you'll know you're in a healthy relationship. 12. You're unhappy. The biggest sign of being in an unhealthy relationship is when you're unhappy. A relationship is meant to be a positive experience. You're supposed to look forward to seeing your partner, not dread or stress about fitting them into your schedule. Let the relationship go, and you'll feel much happier. Trust us, no relationship is better than an unhealthy relationship. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching.
"誰かの声さあ行こうよ」 It's a word that holds weight, feels good. Love is an instinctive emotion most of us feel, yet is not fully understood, being a complicated emotion. In spite of the ubiquity and universality of love, we are rarely taught the how or what love really means. We simply navigate our relationships and hope we'll figure it out along the way. Love may drive us wild, causing dysfunctional patterns in our relationships. Even the truest kind of love can turn toxic if we're not careful. With that in mind, here are 6 key differences that can help us distinguish between healthy. 1. Intensity versus stability. Remember back to that new relationship feeling when everything is just incredible? In the beginning, you get a rush of emotions and that high intensity of affection that gives you a sort of euphoria when you're together. In a healthy relationship, these emotions mature and stabilize. They grow into a fondness and relaxed, deep affection instead of staying at a feverish, unstable high. Contrast this with an unhealthy relationship, where the deepening maturity and calmness doesn't happen. The intensity persists. You spend virtually all your time together, constantly checking in when apart, and there are upsets when the other person doesn't reciprocate the smothering attention. That good intensity has now turned negative and feels uneasy instead of euphoric. 2. Isolation versus independence. Isn't it thoughtful and romantic when your partner asks you out and makes plans with you? This depends on how often and when it happens. Healthy love involves a sense of independence. You stay connected to the important people in your life and continue to be able to participate in your own pursuits. Unhealthy love involves a sense of isolation, cutting you off from everything in your life that is not your partner. They become your one and only priority, thus your only source of happiness. They will question or guilt you if it seems you're deriving happiness or enjoyment from anything other than them. This is not love. It's controlling possession. 3. Concern versus jealousy. We may not want to admit it, but jealousy is a normal part of any relationship. It's okay to feel occasionally insecure and want assurance from your partner, just as long as jealousy does not get out of hand. Healthy love is all about open communication and listening to each other. It means setting mutually comfortable boundaries and having mutual trust. Unhealthy love is all about wild and irrational jealousy, the unreasonable kind that can never be reassured. Your partner may become possessive of you and start invading your privacy. They may read your messages and restrict who you can and can't interact with. They need to know who you're with and where you are at all times. There may also be frequent accusations of infidelity, like cheating or flirting, even when you're not. 4. Teasing versus belittling. Once you become more comfortable with one another, you might start playfully teasing or lightly ribbing on each other, even in front of others. That's a sign of healthy love, that you feel secure enough and know each other well enough to laugh slightly at yourselves. You both know when to stop and no feelings are hurt. Unhealthy love, on the other hand, crosses over the line, and the teasing isn't light. It's belittling, insulting, and humiliating. Maybe your partner decides to share embarrassing, knowingly private information to get laughs and adulation from other people. They may purposely make fun of you for something they know is hurtful. Even worse is that they likely won't even apologize for it, twisting it so it seems like you're the one with a problem by being too sensitive and overreacting. 5. Generosity versus manipulation. Healthy love does not require payback or an exchange. You give freely of your time, energy, money, and whatever else may be needed from you, because you care about them and want happiness for them. There is no attempt to purchase desired behavior. Healthy love is selfless, while unhealthy love is selfish. Unhealthy love gives, not out of generosity, but with expectations of something in return. It's a transaction. It can look like them offering you a ride to work in the morning, and in exchange, you'll be expected to stop your painting hobby that makes you leave every Thursday night for classes. The reasoning used to hide it, because if you really love them, you do it. This is manipulation, not love. And 6, honesty versus volatility. The final, but highly important aspect is that healthy love is honest, but not manipulative. The openness about your feelings, wants, and thoughts are shared for the pure reason of better mutual understanding. This being so you can be a stronger support to each other and grow closer. There is no hidden motive, just open, healthy communication. In unhealthy love, the honesty shared is volatile. It involves tearful fights, screaming terrible low-blow things at each other, then panically begging the other partner to come back, because you can't function without them. Your relationship feels constantly unsafe and insecure, with emotions soaring or plummeting with no consistency. When you love someone, it can be difficult to accept the realities surrounding them and your relationship with them, once the shiny new relationship smell wears off. We all struggle at being good at times, so it feels hypocritical to fault others for that same struggle. We wrongly believe that if there is love, imperfections are all negligible, to be dismissed or ignored. This is a dangerous idea to entertain, as it makes us more vulnerable to abuse and mistreatment. Everyone deserves to be treated with decency, courtesy, kindness, and care. Knowing the difference between what's healthy and unhealthy in love can help you better understand your relationships and assess whether they're good for you. Healthy love is open communication, mutual respect, trust, and compatible values. If your relationship lacks all of these, then it may be time to consider if it's a love that's not meant to